As you begin to look at the lesson on federalism, I think it's important to reflect on the issues that help shape our system of government and allows a national supreme government to work with smaller and diverse state governments. These are some of the principles that helped to shape the Founding Fathers' ideas for framing the Constitution. Hamilton wrote in Federalist No. 9, "This form of government is a convention by which smaller states agree to become members of a larger one, which they intend to form. It is kind of an assemblage of societies that constitute a new one, capable of increasing by means of new associations until they arrive to such a degree as to be able to provide for the security of the unified body." Hamilton suggests that states rethink their positions of complete autonomy for the common security of the nation. Madison wrote in No. 14, "In the first place, it is to be remembered that the national government is not to be charged with the whole power of making and administering laws. Its jurisdiction is limited to certain enumerated objects, which concern all the members of the Republic, by which are not to be attained by the separate provisions of any. The subordinate governments which can extend their care to all those other objects which be separately provided for will retain their due authority and activity." Madison talks directly to the anti-federalist fears that the national government will not be all-powerful. There will be a way for the state governments to provide the structures that best suits the needs of their constituents. Hamilton adds, in No. 17, "It will always be far more easy for the state governments to encroach upon the national authorities than for the national government to encroach upon the state authorities. If they administer their affairs with uprightness and prudence, will generally possess over the people, upon the same principle that a man is more attached to his family than to his neighborhood than to the community at large. The people of each state would be apt to feel a stronger bias towards their local governments than towards the government of the Union, unless the force of that principle should be destroyed by much better administration of the latter." Hamilton envisions a system of government where the states will actually hold the seats of power and influence. By human nature, people care most about the things that are closest to them. The only way that could change, he postulates, is that if the national government is actually better at meeting their needs. Before coming to class, give some thought to the ways the Federalists speak to the concerns expressed by the Anti-Federalists. Think about how their visions ended up in the Constitution. And if Madison's prediction that the states will encroach upon the national government authority became a reality.